Hey y'all, and welcome back to week 7 of our Makeup Master series. I am really excited about this week because this week we're going to do brows. And if y'all don't know, this was my second video on this channel. I really have an affinity for brows because I feel like it is the most important thing on your face when it comes to makeup, because that's what people see. They see that first. They can see if your brows are totally uneven or if they are sisters and not twins. I also know that as we get older, our brows can become a little bit more sparse, a little bit more thin. I'm going to show you in this video how I shape, fill, and define my brows and the products that I use and some of the products that may be best for you and your skin type, and give you some of my tips and tricks on how to achieve those sisters and not twins. If you're interested in this, y'all stick with your girl because we're going to jump right into it. Let's do it. So before we start to fill them in, we want to make sure that they are clean, tidy, and you know that there's nothing in our hairs. So you want to take your little spoolie, this end of, if you have a dual-sided brush, and you want to make sure that you just brush through the hairs and get anything out. You want to shape them to their natural shape, and then make sure that they are clean and ready for any type of application. Okay, this is not a problem that most of us tend to have. However, if you do, where when you brush your hairs up, you have a little extra hair right here, you take your little trimming scissors that may come in a kit with your spoolie, and you want to trim those hairs down. I don't have this problem, never had it actually. Most of us don't tend to do this on our own because we go and get our brows groomed of some sort. But for our DIY girlies out there, I'm not going to discount you. You know, do you. Make sure your brows are together, girl. Here is the fun part where you get to choose what type of product you want to use on your brow. I'm going to show you a couple of different choices before you go into what product you want to use. Okay, this fun product right here, this is the Dip Shape and Go from NYX. You pull this out. This part you use to sculpt your brows with. This is the spoolie, and then you're going to take it and you are going to dip it into this part right here. This part has product in it, and I know you can't see that, but you dip it into here and it pulls the product out of there, and then you tend to shape your brows with it. This is a pomade. A pomade is like a mousse, creamy mousse formula. Matter of fact, why didn't I show it to you? This is the pomade, a light creamy mousse formula. So if you have sparse hairs, this will get the job done. This is the brow pen from Juvia's Place, and let me show you what this looks like. A brow pen is really detailed, and as you can see, that is a deeper shade. This works really well if I wanted to create hair-like strokes in the very front of my brow. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills pencil. This is just another type of pencil, and this is how this looks. Sometimes you have to warm it up if you haven't used it in a while. Perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with the pencil. Other options that you can choose from are powders. That's a good option because you're just filling in areas and making it just a little bit more darker before you define. Another option is brow mascara, and you can just use that to fill in any sparse areas that you may have and then go ahead and define under your brow. I'm going to give you a couple of products that you can use based on your skill level, okay? Now, you get to choose your skill level, not me. So first, we're going to start off with beginner. Beginners, I would say for you to use a brow gel or a clear brow wax. And here's why. Because brow gels and brow waxes are the most easiest to use. They take the most minimal effort. Basically, you just use a spoolie, you run it through your hair, and if it's clear, you don't have to worry about, you know, any extra color. But if you use the tinted version, you're just adding a little light layer of color. The pro tip here is basically to start off with a clear gel, and then once you get a little bit more assured of yourself, then you move on to the tinted version so that you know you don't mess up anything. That easy. Next up is going to be my intermediate group, and you're going to use a brow pencil. I love a brow pencil because you get more of a defined look, and y'all gonna see when I start is that I use short strokes to create my little brow hairs, honey, and we get to it. Okay, now the pro tip here is to not darken the front part of your brows right up in here. Keep it a little bit light and darken the back area of your brow so that you can create that ombre look and your brows still look light and natural. Okay, The next group is going to be the advanced group. And those are the individuals that like to use the brow powder. Now, honey, child, brow powder allows for more definition, but a softer look. You're basically going to use an angled brush to put that on, and you're going to build it up. I always say you use a brow powder the same way that you use a brow pencil, because you don't want to go so hard in the front and you want to, you know, lighten it up as you go. But you definitely have to be careful because powders, honey, powders can go 0 to 100 real quick. But again, the pro tip there is a lighter gradient here, darker gradient there, and then honey, you have the perfect little brow. The experts, okay, you experts, that's where you're gonna use a brow pomade. And brow pomades are like a soft mousse. The color payoff on that, child, honey, boom, it is deep. So you have to be careful on how you use it. You want to make sure that you have a steady hand and you know exactly what you're doing when you put on a pomade, because it's not going nowhere, honey. You're definitely going to take small strokes because you want to be careful as you put it on. You want to build that product up. And of course, you're going to use your spoolie to, you know, blend it out and make sure that it looks nice and it looks natural. Pro tip on that is a little goes a long way because it's highly pigmented. So you definitely want to start off with a little and then build it up. Okay, if y'all have questions, make sure y'all drop them in the comments and let me know, because it is my passion to help you and make sure that you understand exactly what it is that, you know, it takes to achieve whatever the look is that you're trying to achieve. I'm not here to, you know, bash anybody, by golly. And if you don't know, you don't know. I didn't know. So I had to learn, and it took trial and error to learn these type of things. Don't be afraid to ask the question, because child, I probably already made the mistake for you. All right, so let's get into putting this stuff on, because enough talking and enough learning. Let's do it. Y'all like my hat? Y'all know St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow, so I had to, you know, anywho, this is my pencil.
Soften up the mess, drop it in the water, let the daughter find an image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity, reveal another pretty little scheme. Save her mind, hold her hand, and don't believe a lie. You understand me. Walk her down the valley, pack a piece of heaven for the bottoms of her feet. Teach her how to jump and how to stretch when she reach, like the angels do, and you gon' make it through now. Tell about the healer, greater is the one within, and call him as the leader. Teach her how to hold a pretty hand up to the sky, and never wait upon the giver, he'll deliver like a dealer. Take her higher, higher, fly out the valley and the fire. Take her higher, higher, fly up out the valley and the fire. Train her feet for running, show her every
All
door.
right, so once we have defined our brows, now we're gonna fill them in. You can choose between an angled brush. I'm gonna use my flat brush. When I was a beginner, I started with an angled brush because it was easier for me to use. You pick what you wanna use and we will go from there. All right, let's do it.
With the higher pen, can't be touched by fire. Fast forward to the grown things now. I'm working on them soul things now. Forgiving all your old ways, but it's harder on the cold days. Cold days. Never been a product of a flawless environment. Never acted like I'm higher than you. And I still pray, dear God, won't you send me a break? Cause I need to get away, yeah. Dear God, won't you send me a break? Cause I need to get away, yeah. Cause I would rather be running away. I would rather be.
Now I'm gonna take my sponge and I am going to make sure that your sponge is damp, okay? And then I'm going to blend it out.
Listen, daughter, pay attention, pray and listen, hear your father. These lies they told are so familiar, they will haunt you, they will kill you, keep you hostage, king will heal you before him.
Okay.
Adore
Now, next thing you want to do is take some setting powder. I'm taking my Laura Mercier setting powder in translucent, and then I'm gonna just tap it in just a little bit. Let me show y'all just a little bit, right? Well, tap it in. I got so much on here. I'm gonna take some of that off because I don't want all this on my eye. And put it in my hand, right, like this, and then I'm gonna put it on my eye because I'm gonna set my eye down and get it prepped for eyeshadow because that's what's next. Okay, and in that way the concealer doesn't crease on me as I'm doing any other work on my face. And then my eyes are good, so I can go on and do the rest of my face work and your eyes won't move. It should not crease. It should not do anything else. If you have any questions, let me know. I do not mind. Leave me a comment. Let me know if this was like too easy, if it was too hard. Don't forget to, let your girl know something, very much something. Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to the next eye. I'm gonna use the angled brush so that I can show you. I haven't used this in a long time. So y'all excuse me if I'm a little rusty with this brush. Oh, one thing I do want to show y'all. So I put the concealer on the back of my hand just in case y'all didn't know that. That's where I put my concealer. I took it out of the bottle. I dropped it. I took it like this and I just scooped some on the back of my hand. I scooped it off of my brush and then onto my eyes. And the reason that I came out right here on my eyes is so that I would have somewhere to connect it to right here so that I know that it was sisters, kind of even sister. Those are my little tips and tricks that I use just so that I can make sure that my eyes kind of turn out the same way each and every time. Yeah, because I didn't explain that. So I just wanted to make sure that I explained things that you probably didn't see versus me just doing it. What else? I think that was it. So let's get to the other eye and we will move on. I'm gonna keep y'all further back so I can keep y'all in frame this time. My bad. I do both sides in case I need to flip my brush. I do both sides. Wet both sides with concealer. And then we go in here. And I start, and I do start right here because there's a lot of product on my brush. So I do start right here to get some of that product off. Ooh, I'm going down. Now, if y'all want to get spunky, you can go ahead and set your brows down with some brow gel. This is Clear Brow Gel by NYX Control Freak. This is an extra step. You don't have to if you don't want to. This will basically hold your brows in place pretty much all day. This is my favorite one. I bought this one over and over again. And basically, you just want to brush it into your hair. It makes your brows look like you actually have hair if you have really sparse hairs. So yeah, that's me right there. And then nothing will move all day. That's that. Filled in our brows, we have shaped and we have defined. So my beautiful, lovely people, make sure y'all go back and check out my second video that showed you all about brows. I'm so proud of that video. And next week, we're going to get into eyeshadow. Eyeshadow, honey. Maybe we might do some color. Maybe we might not. Come back next week and let's see. And until then, y'all leave me some comments below. Let me know what product you chose. Let me know if you were in the beginner, if you were in the advanced, if you were an expert. Let me know which one were you. I want to know. I'm nosy like that. And also let me know if something in this video helped you out. I love hearing those success stories. So it keeps me pumped up, keep me going, let me know that I'm doing something right for you all. And until next week, I will see you. Yeah. Happy St. Patty's Day. Bye, guys.